Pro Football Focus released its rankings of the top 10 quarterbacks entering this season, and the top of the list has two guys in their 40s. It's Tom Brady, number 1, and Drew Brees, number 2. Now, I want to give you a look at the rest of the list. 23-year-old Patrick Mahomes came in at number 3. That's ahead of Aaron Rodgers. Another surprise, if you will, Baker Mayfield cracking the top 10 names that you don't see on there, including Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Deshaun Watson, and perhaps some others. So as we looked at this, the three of us, we each sort of picked out one primary takeaway. Booger, I'll give it to you first. What was the primary takeaway you had from that list of the top 10?
Well, you have a lot of experienced quarterbacks that have seen a lot of football, and they've seen a lot of pictures. You often talk about the picture, pre-snap, post-snaps. What's the one thing defensively that coordinators try to do? They try to change the picture. They try to throw a lot of different things at quarterbacks to confuse them. Well, guys, Tom Brady, you can throw the entire book at him. He's not going to get confused. Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, these guys have seen a lot of football. They understand what coordinators are going to try to do to them. And I think playing the quarterback position has more to do with your mental mind frame than your physical from an asset standpoint. And I think these guys have seen a lot of football. You can't confuse them. And that experience and that veteran wisdom is the reason this list looks the way it does.
What is your primary takeaway from the list?
The folks at PFF better not go walking on Broad Street in South Philly, because they're going to get batteries thrown at them, and they're not going to be throwing them at Santa Claus anymore, because where is Carson Wentz? Where is Carson Wentz, who was the 2017 runaway MVP, who is on the short list of MVPs this year and has as talented an offense top to bottom, skill players, backs, offensive line, play caller, as really any guy in the NFL. And he's healthy now. He's had a full offseason of health. I want to figure out why Carson Wentz is not on this list. Carson Wentz in the last 2 years has got the third best QBR in all of the NFL. He struggled in the red zone last year and still had a good year. If he ever gets back to that 2017 red zone production, which in the red zone this year, the Eagles are going to be unstoppable. They'll be unstoppable. Arcega-Whiteside, Alshon Jeffrey, Dallas Goedert, and Zach Ertz, defense. I just want to know, how's Carson, my guy, not on the
How
list?
confident are you that he can stay healthy, though? To me, that's when I look at this list, there are guys who, like, we're projecting into the 2019 season. Maybe they don't think that Carson Wentz can stay healthy, because the last 2 years, his style of play has led him to getting hurt.
Well, I don't know if their dad is equating this into their rating and his health or whatnot. I always like to make this point about Carson Wentz and his health, though. I was around Matthew Stafford when he was young, and everyone labeled him as an injury-prone guy. Part of it is understanding how to play the position and keep yourself healthy and whatnot. I have no concerns about Carson Wentz's health. I do know he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
I'll give you my overall takeaway. Aaron Rodgers is going to go medieval on the National Football League this season. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm looking at that list, I would say, okay, you can do one of two things. You can give the young kid Patrick Mahomes number 1, because clearly he deserves to be number 1 based on his play. Or you can show deference and respect to the older established guys, which they did with Brady and Brees, but somehow and inexplicably not with Aaron Rodgers, who was only arguably the best quarterback of all time. I put Aaron Rodgers in a category with one other great player, and that is LeBron James. That's the comparison I would like to make. Aaron Rodgers and LeBron James are historically great players who have sat back over the course of the last several months and for varying and different reasons heard themselves dragged through the mud. I mean, dragged through the mud. LeBron James sat here and listened to us on Get Up change our minds over who was the best basketball player in the world every other day for 2 months. And at no point did anyone say, oh yeah, it's actually still LeBron James. And so now here's Aaron Rodgers, and he's looking at this list and he's saying, yeah, Mahomes is spectacular. He's better than me. But Brady and Brees are better than him. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to come out this year with a chip on his shoulder the size of an asteroid, and I think he is going to play better than he has ever played in his life.
But, Greeny, to your point, we talk about 2018 for LeBron James and 2018 for Aaron Rodgers. Those years weren't great. So they can't be mad that we talked about maybe Kevin Durant or Kawhi Leonard being the best player. Or Aaron Rodgers can't be mad that he's not higher on that list.
Who's the best player in basketball?
The best player right now?
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard.
It's not LeBron James?
until he shows me that he can come back, lose a few pounds, come back and be the dominant, because he was too heavy. He was too heavy after the groin injury. If he can show me he can come back, and by the Instagram photos, he's slimmed down, he's ready to go. But
you're making my point for me.
If we're just
He's coming back to show you that.
let me see it first. Don't you tell, let me see it. I want to see it first.
LeBron James wants to show it to you. And Aaron Rodgers wants to show it to all those guys at Pro Football Focus that he is still every bit as good as he's ever been.
Just be careful referencing guys to LeBron James on this show. But speaking of Aaron Rodgers, I know you think he's going to go scorched earth, and I do. Larry, I don't need to tell anybody he's great, but what flames is he throwing? Because they don't have a ton of people around him that are really good. That's my only thing, is the weapons are still the same guys as last year.
You know, great quarterbacks have been making seemingly average players into great weapons for a really long time. Peyton Manning used to do that all the time, but they get another receiver that you never heard. Just watch. Aaron Rodgers is going to go scorched earth on the National Football League this year.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.